All right. So when working with FileZilla and the configurations for our normal one, BossShopPro, that you're going to be using, it's best to start with how to operate FileZilla for when you're making saves, when you're making transfers. So when you get into FileZilla, when you download FileZilla, what you'd want to do is you'd want to make sure that you have the host, which I've given or I'm going to give, the username, the password, and the port, and you hit quick connect. If you want to continue, if you don't want to have to type it in every single time, do what I do, which is file and copy current connection to site manager. I've already done that, so if I go here, it'll show my sites that I have, which is the server. So then you can see all of the everything you need to see. So I'm going to give you a rundown on what FileZilla shows you. On your left here, these two columns, you have the broad folders of your side, what you have on your computer, and then a specific folder that you have. So right here, it'll be local site, and then remote site, what's on the server. So like we're tabbed into plugins, Boss Shop Pro, and the shops. So right now we have all the shops displayed. So you can go through and check all of the other plugin folders, but typically we're going to be staying in BossShopPro. Now, at any time, you will be flipping through these two folders, back and shop, back and shop. The reason why is because it has a nifty bug finder that if you have an issue or if you have something that you need to figure out why isn't it working, like if there's an issue with a mapping thing, it will it will pop up with a it would pop up with a bug finder, and it will tell you exactly where if you right click on it and click view or edit. Now here's where Notepad++ is going to come in. So when you do view or edit, it's going to ask you to run it with a program. So if you run it with Notepad++, it makes your life a whole lot easier, because then as soon as you save something like this, if I go back and do file and save, I go back to FileZilla. It says a file previously open has been changed, and you want to click only yes. Don't click the checkbox. You will rarely have to click the checkbox. So now for when you're operating like configs, you want to know some basics, some necessary things. First off, you will always have to have these four uh, objects. So it's shop name, what your shop name is going to be. For example, like our shop name is Cosmo. Display name is Cosmo Shop, which if you can find it in here under slash shop, it is Cosmo Shop right here. So now if we go back onto the thing, it says display name is shop. So now the command that we do to run the shop is shop. You don't have to have the slash or anything else. Just make sure that you have the shop. Um, and then under here, it shows the actual shop, because you have a difference. There's shop and sign shop. A sign shop you can set up with just a sign, and people can buy from you with the click of a sign. So now you get to the actual items that you're displaying. So say for example your redstone. So like for purchasable items, you have your hopper, which will always have to be labeled. Make sure you label your items. So for like if it's two different types of pistons, I put piston, sticky piston. And then what each of these words mean, what each of these phrases mean, I will explain. So menu item, that's a constant that always has to stay in there. Lore, what the text is gonna be while you're hovering over it. So like the amount. So like say you wanted to have like displaying the price, so you would have the placeholder price, price percentage. The name is what it's actually going to be displayed as. Instead of like the actual hopper, you can type it in, like say you wanted it to be test, it'll show up as test. And the next thing is the amount. So how much of that specific item you're going to display. So we tend to have it at 1 because it looks nicer. And then the type is the ID or the name of the block that you're putting in. So I put for Hopper I just put 154. And durability, that's optional. You don't have to have that in there. And for when you're doing price type or block based rewards, you want to do item. For when you want to do command based rewards, you want to do either op command, player command, or if it's running through another BossShopPro shop, you want to do shop. Now, the item command, how it works is that it's telling the config, okay, I'm going to be giving this player this amount of hoppers, and the price is money for this price. And then for message, it's what you want it to send to the player if it interacts. Extra permissions we rarely use. Inventory location is where it's at on the GUI. So when we're running the GUI, we mean this, like all these slots. So when it says number 1 right here, Hopper is number 1. So that's just a quick rundown of like all the lists of ways. Oh, and one more thing for when you want to have an expanded GUI like this, because it'll start out like if you have it just 1, 2, 3, 4, it'll only show this first line. So what you do to make it show all the way down to this line, or even say a next page, you would have it set to 60, or at the very least 54, because 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54. And what we usually do is we do placeholder 1. Amount for this one, we remain it at 0 because then it's invisible. Nobody can see it. And it looks sleek and nice and doesn't have anything like out of the ordinary. And type, you could put stone, you could put stained glass pane. Typically, you want to just do stone because it's easier. Durability, you don't have to really worry about. Reward type for this one is nothing because we don't want people to be able to click over it and get something like as a sneaky little thing. So we just put reward type nothing, price type nothing, message will remain nothing, extra permissions will stay nothing, and the inventory location will be 60 because that's how much it is for, say, for example, we're in the materials. So it'll be right here, 60, because it's 2 pages. And I think that's actually it. So, um,